Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Friday, July 9th, 2021. How about this one? Diaper inflation. Diaper inflation, absolutely. This is the new crisis that we have. Apparently, diaper inflation is wrecking family budgets. People, you can't make this stuff up. As I've explained to you since like forever now, you can't make this shit up. It's impossible to do. And it's not just diapers, obviously, that are inflating. It's everything that is inflating right now. And it's about to get much worse here, despite the fake talk of transitory and temporary and whatever they want to throw at us. The distractions are absolutely absurd. Look here, don't look here. The whole new fear campaign with variants on this dog shit virus and everything else. Look, they really got the people by the throat. Not you and me. I mean, we can see clearly through the dog shit. Anyway, so yeah, diaper inflation, that's the new crisis we're in right now. Anyway, let's talk about a few other things. Right now, this stock market is poised for a rebound at the open. Stock futures higher across the board. Crude oil back at $74 a barrel, as you know, going much, much higher. 10-year yield slightly higher. I would call this some stabilization in the debt market. I mean, we've seen quite an incredible move with regard to the 10-year yield as of late, and the whole damn yield curve flattening out because our economy is so strong. No, it's a clear sign that our economy is in free fall. Oh, and that's the other narrative. Our economy is expanding. It's expanding. We're not expanding anywhere, people. You can't make this stuff up either. I mean, turn on Bloomberg. We're expanding. No, we're inflating the debt. That's all they're doing here. We're not creating any jobs. Our economy is cratering. But again, you must be told lies repeatedly, over and over and over again, convinced that what you're seeing with your own eyeballs is not real, like diaper inflation. Duh. I was rolling this morning when I heard about diaper inflation. I know it's probably a real thing for people out here who are dealing with it, but everything's inflating. It's not just diapers. Anyway, let's go back to the market. So futures higher, 10-year yield stabilizing, dollar weaker. So you got a nice setup here. You get a nice setup here for the stock market to go higher. The unholy trinity. When you got crude oil catching a bid, 10-year yield stable, weaker dollar, the promise of easy money like you've never seen before, and I mean that literally. Where do you expect the stock market to go? It's going to crash? It's so funny. So yesterday, we had this not even a 1%, not even a 0.75% across the board sell-off in the market. And my email box this morning, Greg, this is it. It's over. The market's about to crash. Where really do you people come up with this stuff? Please don't write to me with regard to these asinine comments. And they are asinine. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every single time those of you are trying to pick tops because of some YouTuber or some other guy out here putting a completely misinformed guest on their shows, trying to pick tops and bottoms and tell you there's being a crash tomorrow, listen to them. Go ahead. You've been on the wrong side for a very long time. You've been following this blog. You've been on the right side of this market, period. The end. Anyway, gold and silver right now are under a little bit of pressure despite the fact that the dollar is getting hit yet again. Cryptocurrencies are about flat to slightly negative. But that's really the story this morning. That's where we stand. We have diaper inflation. Lovely. Okay. We got a market poised for a rebound here. I told you they were going to buy this dip. All right. I said I wasn't sure when it was going to happen, but we don't get corrections anymore. We don't get drops anymore. Every single time the market falls, it gets bought up. Because again, it's easy money driving the market. This is an environment of greed and corruption unlike anything we've ever seen before. And it's a full-blown attack via diaper inflation, I guess, is part of the weaponization of the situation of the middle class is being erased. You all know that. What else would you expect around here? You think things are going to get normal? No, they're not going to. Things are going to get much, much worse. The distortions are going to get much, much worse. But again, knowing these things is our strength. Knowing these things allows you and I to stay on the right side of this. Stay along the stock market. Buy the dips in the stock market. Buy every dip across every single asset class. Yes, and that includes cryptocurrencies as well. Period. The end. It's not going to stop. All right. So just realize what you're seeing. Realize the actual environment you're in. What's going on here. What central banks are determined to do. And that is to inflate, to own it all, to own the world as our so-called representatives here, hand everything over to the central banks on a silver platter. That's what they're doing here. We have no government, no real government that represents the people. And it's not just a phenomenon here in the United States. This is a global phenomenon with the European Central Bank determined to continue to inflate as well. Other central banks around the world, all developed economies around the world being run or managed by their central banks determined to inflate. So you get things like diaper inflation, yes. And it's squashing people's budgets because they can't keep up. And that's another thing too. So we found out yesterday, people are borrowing from their credit cards, again, in greater and greater amounts just to make ends meet. I guess it's diaper inflation. I don't know. They're going to borrow to buy more diapers. I have no idea. But this is so sick, people. Really. And I really hope you're not one of them. People continue to borrow and borrow and borrow more. Just like our broke nation is a slave to the central banks, the Federal Reserve. That's the whole plan here, to create slaves on an unbelievable scale. And this is a global phenomenon, but nobody wants to do anything about it. No, they don't. They want to get caught up in nonsensical garbage, and while they allow this thing to happen to them, it's absolutely sick. But you don't have to do that. You can sit back and take action. Take the opposite side of the trade. Understand what's going on around you. Anyway, that's it, people. Very important video. Please share it. Please get it out there. I will see all of you at the end of the day, and it's going to be just a freak show as usual.